Cue the montage. Cue the montage. Get you some of that.
All right, guys. So, as the thumbnail shows, today's maintenance day on our IAAI auction Cummins. Man, we've been putting the miles on this truck. We've honestly had it just over 1 year, and we're right at the point of when we got it running a year later. The truck's been phenomenal. Honestly, it was a great purchase. Risky, but great. So we're in the truck for right at 15.5 if you guys have followed along on that build series. And I haven't had to touch anything else on it. I did have to do rear wheel bearings, and that's only because the seals started to leak. And so I was like, the bearings must be going bad. I mean, the truck's got right at 200,000 miles on it now. It had 182 or 183 on it when I bought it. So we've drove this thing. It's been all over the southern United States. Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, Arkansas, Kansas. Man, it's literally been everywhere. Far west Texas, out, Midland to get those travel laws. It's had a lot of weight on it, pulled a bunch of trailers, pulled a bunch of projects home. And we're to the point where we need to do some maintenance. Oil change, we're going to do a fuel filter, and we're going to do an air filter. And the air filter isn't that old. I replaced all the filters on this thing when we put it together the first time. So I'm actually going to put a Bosch air filter in it. Man, if you know Bosch just makes good stuff. Been around a long time. I think they're made by Honeywell, who really makes them. I don't know that for sure, but I think it is. So that's what we're going to do. I bought Baldwin fuel filters and oil filter for it. So we're going to do an oil change on it. If you watched my previous video about doing oil changes, I learned this trick that put a 5-gallon bucket underneath your vehicle and just dump it. Especially in these diesel trucks, you can get away with doing that. And that's how I do oil changes. You just wide open into the 5-gallon bucket. So that's what we're going to do. It works really phenomenal on like leveled trucks, or if you can lift the front of your truck up a little bit, jacks, whatever. We've got this wonderful lift here, and what we're going to do is we're just going to put the short arms underneath the truck and lift the truck just a little bit so that I can get the 5-gallon bucket underneath the truck. The 5-gallon bucket almost goes underneath, but it only needs like 2 or 3 inches before it will go completely. So let's get to it, guys. So that's all I need to be able to actually do what I need to do. We're just going to slide the bucket underneath, get underneath there, pop the plug out, let it drain, put the plug back in, pull the bucket out. It's real simple. All right, like I said, 5-gallon bucket. Best way to do this. Man, the oil is disgusting. Diesels, man, they'll dirty up the oil as soon as you put the fresh stuff in, so. Smells like fuel. Probably not a good thing. But it can't be as bad as when we put it together. The crankcase was full of fuel in this. If you guys remember, the intercooler piping coupler was pinched off, causing this thing not to run, which is why the insurance salvaged it. We literally just had to undo the coupler from the intake, and the truck fired right up, and we ran like a beaut. It ran like a dream after we did that. So, fortunately for us, whoever diagnosed the engine as bad, benefited us in the end. That's the bad thing about the insurance auction stuff. So we bought that thing. On the listing, it said that it was a run and drive. I'm sorry, but as you guys may have watched in our auction video, there's no way this engine was running when they put it up for auction. Alright, I think this is about as good as it's going to get. We sat here all day and let it drain. But alright. Wipe that up. Oh, we're good. Alright, now we're done with that. We can go ahead and we can drop it back down. Alright, so I'm going to show y'all what I've learned on changing the oil filter. So on these Cummins, the oil filter's in a terrible spot. I don't know who designed it, but it's kind of like they are like, this will work. So they want you to take it out the inner fender well, but that means you have to lay the filter sideways, and that means oil gets everywhere. They sell this special cap you can buy to thread onto the oil filter. I don't want to do any of that stuff, so what I figured out is just take the air box, the air filter lid, and the air box off of the truck, and that will allow you to get the oil filter out without much issue. So we got to do an oil filter or air filter on this anyways, so we're just going to go ahead and get this out. Check this filter out, see how bad it really is. Like I said, it'd randomly throw a clogged air filter code. Well, I'd say it was throwing a clogged air filter code because it's full of freaking sand. Yeah, that's bad. Look at that coming out of there, guys. Yep. Yeah, look at all that sand in there, all that dirt. It's crazy that it does that. Alright, so either way, the air filter tube, like I said, I take it out. It's the feed to the turbo. There's a flathead. There's a hose clamp down here that you can hardly see, but you can get to it if you know where it's at. Alright. We got enough extensions now, baby. Okay, that should be enough. Okay. All right, so y'all seen how I did that. So it's a little bit of a process, but it is the way to do it. Check your turbo while you're right here. All right. So here is the oil filter. It's a terrible shot. Can't really get you any better. Oil filter's right here. So you take this off. This is a two-piece design. This sits right in here. See how that kind of shares that? Like I said, this is a mess. So do not drop this. Then it comes up and out, just like that. Like I said, this is the way I prefer to do it. It's coming through up here. The only other option is going through right there, if you guys can see that. All right, and if you guys don't already know, the Cummins takes 3 gallons of oil. So Walmart seems to be the cheapest place to get your oil. And you can buy it in this box. It's exactly 3 gallons. It's eco-friendly. Saves on plastic waste, they say. So it's got a spigot here. We're just gonna pre-lube this filter. Take a little bit of the oil, put it on the O-ring. Always make sure you put some on the O-ring. That'll keep it from sticking. But finagle it just right and you got her in. So like I said, you want the oil filter tight, but don't send it to Jesus, because if you do, getting it off is gonna suck. That's how the last oil filter was. Somebody had sent it to Jesus and we dang near couldn't get it off. There just isn't a lot of room to work in that little area. You've got a intercooler pipe right there. You've got all the air intake stuff. There's lines, AC lines, just all sorts of stuff. So try to make it easy on yourself if you can. So going back together, there's a notch right here in this tube. There's a notch in the coupler. I don't know if you can see it or not, but you have to line those up, and that way the alignment on the pipe is like it's supposed to be. Takes the guesswork out of how to align it. You just slip it back over the turbo. Like so. Alright, so what I need to do is I need to pull this air box out because it has a bunch of sand and stuff in it. Alright, in theory, it just comes out. Like so. Oh, didn't need that clip. And look, huh. Okay, well, that makes sense. It's got a motor operator on it. Look at the stuff that's in here, guys. Oh, you want to know why that's like that? You guys remember I didn't run this truck with inner fenders for a while? Yeah, I must say that the truck not running inner fenders was throwing stuff up into the air box and then getting into the filter. Yep, look at that. We figured out our own problem. Idiot. New filter's going in. The air box back on. The air box lid. All right, just like so. Get all the screws started before you lock her down. That way you're not fighting the screws. Okay. You're going to take the tube back on the lid. Okay. And then the last thing we have to do is make sure the pipe's on the turbo. And then reach down here, tighten the screw up. This is how I prefer to do it. You can do it however you want. Alright, let me show you a cool thing about this box. You may or may not like it. I think it's pretty cool. See this right here? No funnel required. Zero. Look at that. That's just going to fill the whole engine up. That is easy. And we just hang out and let it do its thing. Done. Now we got to move over and do the fuel filter, which isn't too bad to do on this truck because it's a Cummins. Now, if you have a Ford, I feel sorry for you because fuel filters suck because they're up on a frame rail, back behind a brace, and you got to reach your arm way back up. Sucks. Terrible. Horrible design. All right, so we're going to do the fuel filter now. This is the fuel filter right here. This little reservoir I'm touching right here. 1 1/8" socket fits on this hex, and you just loosen it up, pull the filter out, put the new filter in, tighten it back up. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, we gotta hurry up and get this out of here because we're about to lose the last work light that I have available right now. Should be loose enough to pull out by hand now. All right. Let's check it out. All right, it's always best to replace this O-ring. While you're here, your new filter should come with it. Everyone I've ever done always has it. Okay, so we'll get this filter out and let me show you why the Baldwin filter's better than the Doc's filter. It ain't even for filtration, even though I bet you it filters better. Okay. So this is the top of the filter. See how it's this round part? Okay. Now this is the Baldwin filter. It does have more filter media, FYI. And look at the Baldwin filter. It has a handle to pull up on so that you ain't got to pry this out. That was thinking with your dipstick. So either way, now that that's all done, we'll just pop this one back in. So remember, what we're going to do is we're going to prime the fuel filter housing. And in order to do that, you just cycle the key or cycle the push button, because there's not a key in this truck. So you keep your foot off the pedal, off the brake pedal. You're going to take your start button. You're going to hit it once, hit it twice. It's going to go run. That's going to cycle the fuel pump. Okay. We're going to do it again. Okay. We're going to do it again. Alright, and I don't know if you can hear it in the video, but the fuel pump is priming. So we're good. Now we're going to hit one more time. So, and just like that, guys, we're done. We're going to back this thing out a little bit, and then we're going to check it for leaks. Alright guys, so we've got the truck backed out. So what we want to do is we want to check that fuel filter housing. So make sure there's no fuel leaking out of it. Same way with our antifreeze, our heater hose reversal project. Same with our heater hose reversal project. Make sure there's no antifreeze leaking from any of the connections on it. All that looks good. Check underneath. We do have a drip right there, but I guarantee you that drip is from pulling the filter out, because look at all the fuel on the floor. So, I don't know if y'all can see that or not. But, fuel on the floor. So, I think we're good. So what we'll do is we'll kill the truck now, check the oil. Check the oil level, make sure we're good on oil, and call it good, guys. Alright, so we ran it. It's been sitting for a little bit, so let's check the oil level now. Like I said, the truck takes 3 gallons, so I'm not worried about how full it is. It's just more peace of mind. And it's right in the middle of the dipstick, so we're going to call it good. I think it's good. I want to go ahead and thank you guys for watching this episode. And if you've learned anything, drop it in the comments, hit the like button, subscribe.